There you go. It's an aluminum bubble top. This thing has already been machined. Look at it. It's got all the clearances for all the way up to 86 millimeter cranks and your rods. So there should be, I shouldn't have any clearancing to do on this thing. And that's what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to do that over here. See, this is my clearancing. Yeah. This is their clearancing. Yay. Anyways, aluminum. This is 20 pounds heavier. It weighs 43 pounds. This one weighs 23 pounds. So it's 20 pounds heavier. And you can definitely tell the difference. It's heavier. It's Autolinea, made in Brazil. And yeah, it's MP. Whatever. I don't care who makes it as long as it's made right. Yeah. This one has the thing for the type 2, type 3s. There you go. I'm not exactly sure what goes there. I never really investigated, never really cared for it. But this is where I'm going to be putting the oil temperature sensor on this case, which my son has to order for this blue bug right here. Oil temperature. It's a must. You have to have it. I would even encourage you to get the head temperature for this. Just because it's going to be a 2234, it's a huge engine, okay? If you live in a hot climate like I do, which is, you know, it gets like, sometimes it's gotten up to 119, okay? And that's when I cracked that motor, because I wasn't paying attention to my oil temperature, and I was hauling ass. I was doing about 90, 95, following traffic. It wasn't like I was purposely, you know, whatever. Anyways, these are not bulletproof, okay? These guys will grenade if you run them too hard in high temperatures. Porsche motor over there. Ran it in 109, I think, the highest. It's not 119, but I ran it 85 to 90, depending on traffic, on the I-5 and the 46 and the 101, and I didn't back off. I did not back off. Highest temperature I got on the oil was 209 Fahrenheit. That thing is indestructible. These things will grenade, okay? They will grenade. So you have to put an oil temperature, and I would suggest a head temperature. I'm going to talk my son into it. Maybe he will buy it, just to keep the engine safe. You don't have to worry about that on a Type 4 engine, but definitely you have to worry about it on this engine. When I say you don't have to worry about it in a Type 4 engine, I'm not talking about a bus, okay? Because a bus weighs 2 tons, or at least, yeah, 2 tons. That thing doesn't weigh much, less than a ton, 1,800 pounds. So if your Type 4 engine isn't a bug, it's pretty much indestructible. You can run it at whatever temperature, ambient temperature it is outside. It could be 120, 125, and you'll probably be okay, even if you're running 80 miles an hour, non-stop, without backing off. You try that on one of these, you know, big motors. I'm not talking about the 1600s. 1600s, yeah, you can do that. Because I did that on, not this engine, actually this engine right here on this blue bug. I ran it in 110 degrees and I was doing about 90. It would barely do 90, okay, but it would do it. And I never did anything to it, never overheated or anything like that. So, but once you go like, I'm going to say 1835 and up, you're asking for it. You're asking for it. So something like a 2.2 liter. You're definitely going to grenade it really easy. I'm going to shut up now. I want to see what's going on inside, how they machined it and everything. How I'm going to do the HOV mods. Obviously, this is the plug that I'm going to be taking out and I'm drilling out, because I'm going to be running the bigger pump, which is a 33 millimeter oil pump. So I have to make that relief hole actually bigger, from 5 millimeters to 7 minimum and maximum 8 millimeters. So new drill, new plug, which I've got, and same thing on this one. I'm going to take that out, and I'm actually going to drill all the way to about, oh god, let me see, I believe it's going to be to about here. It's going to oil everything. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to shut up now. Let's get to it. I'm going to open it up. So I already found problem number 1 with the new case. Damn it! I thought that this was going to be a walk in the park. Didn't quite work out that way. Yeah, this is the problem right here. Those machining thingies right there, they're too small. So there's no way to get anything in here. Problem number 1. There you go. I wonder if these are gonna have that same problem. Nope. How about over here? Nope. Here. Nope. Down here. Nope. Okay, it looks like that's gonna be the only one that's gonna be a mother effort to get out. So I'm just gonna see if I have a very thin socket, and that might do the trick. At least the socket fits, so yeah, socket is gonna be all right. Everything seems to be okay. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the rest, and I'll bring you back when it's opened. Okay, and here it is. As you can see, it's been machined for the bigger cranks. It's been machined down there for those strokers. From what I can tell, this case is different. You know how we use like those little black donuts right here? You know, just so we don't get leaks right here on these studs. All right. Well, this one doesn't have that. Okay. They have actually they're using like little inserts on the other case. They go in here to center the case. Oops. That's what they're doing. And one more thing that I noticed on these two, these two are the same side of the case. Okay, this is the bad case, this is the new case, aluminum. Look at that little tiny hole right there. This is the relief. The oil that gets past the piston has to have a way to get out, you know, back into the case. Over here, look at that hole. I mean, look at that hole. That's got to be like maybe 13 millimeters right there. Easy. That's like 10 millimeters. So I don't know if I should modify that. Maybe I should leave it alone. I don't know. But that's different. Everything else seems to be about the same. Except for, I remember I modified this. I made an extra groove here so that it goes all the way around. And the other hole on the bearing that goes right here on the cam also pressurizes and creates a nice amount of oil on the cam bearing. Like, yay, see? Like right here. Okay, I wasn't like perfectly straight, but it's straight enough that they met on the other side. Okay, so this case, we're not going to drill all the way across to here, because this is where we're going to drill on the other half. Let's get the other half over here. Okay, so here, see? These are the centering things. So we're not going to be using those little black donut rubber thingies that go on the studs for the case. What we're going to be doing here is drilling from here, a very long drill, going across. You see that tiny little hole right there? Okay, it's going to continue to this side of the wall and meet exactly right here. So I have to drill straight down and meet that hole. But you have to be very careful. You can't go too far or you're going to mess it up. So let's go ahead and start the HVX mod. Now that HVX mod is experimental. That's the X. That's what the X stands for. The first letter is Hoover. That's the guy that came up with it. X for experimental. V, well, Vato. Yeah, it stands for Vato. I actually got this out really easy. I was originally going to drill, like tap it like this with one of these screws, drill it, and then using my hammer, I was just gonna pull it out do this to pull it out. But as I was centering, I was using a punch to center the area so I could drill it. The plug started going in deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm going, you know what? I think it could go all the way through, and it did. It came out through that little hole. Boop! Just came out perfectly smooth. And there you have it. It's actually solid, believe it or not. This is very solid. I can't really. Anyway, it's not hollow. I thought it was going to be like a plug, like a hollow plug. Kind of like this. Just going in like that. So the whole idea was to make a hole through the top and use a screw and then a hammer, or a slide hammer if you have one, and then just go bang, pull it out. But it actually just went all the way through, so I don't have to do that anymore. So see, it goes all the way. Alright, so that was easy. That was the easy part. I'm going to do the other side later on. Right now I'm just going to do this, and we're going to drill in that direction, and then we're going to drill in that direction, and that should get us our full oiling to the other side of the case. And valve train will live longer. So I'm going to go ahead and look for my drill. Let's see if I can find it. I don't think I haven't been able to find it. It's from it's about from here to about here long, and I can't find it. I don't know what I do with it. So I might have to improvise and make one. Make one. That would be funny. Yeah, my son can weld. Yeah, I'll just have him, because I know I still have. I was thinking about this. And what is this? This is actually the stuff. This is one of them ribs for the roof of the car, for the vinyl. So I might just cut it to the size that I need, weld on a drill on the front, and there you go. See, drill that way. Okay, so that's just an idea of what I'm going to be doing. I might actually go buy one. I'm going to hit Lowe's right now, and then Home Depot, and then Tool Harbor. If they don't have anything, this is what I'm going to do. So I guess we're making one. We're making one. Totally struck out, so I had to make my own. I spent like almost 2 hours just running around town trying to find a drill that was this long, this size. I couldn't find any. So, so anyways, that mark is gonna line up with this edge right here. As soon as I hit that edge right there, it'll be not exactly in the middle, but a little towards, just barely protruding from this very edge at the very bottom. So that is the idea. So okay, so we're gonna start drilling. Okay, we're done. Okay. Ah, perfect. So what I'm gonna do right now is grab like some 400, and I'm gonna what do you call it? Just remove any edges that might be here, because I really don't want to ruin my bore for my lifter. So you always want to knock it down. You always want to knock it down. Don't go with, oh, I think it'll be okay. Now we're gonna drill downwards. You know what they say, measure twice, right? Yeah, see, had I gone on the first one, I would have gone too deep. I would have gone too deep. Measure twice, always, always, always. So what I did is I grabbed that drill, see, like that. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. So I did this, so it hits that drill. Then I grabbed the screwdriver from here, or what do you call it, a straight edge, and just visualized where it hits right here. Then I made a mark. and I double checked it with the straight edge coming from here, straight edge over here, and that's where I got my second up, this one right here versus that one. So I would have gone too far. So actually that might be actually correct, but I want to go with that one first and see if I hit the hole. If I hit the hole, I'm stopping right there. Okay, okie doke. What size drills? You know what? I don't think it matters on this. It doesn't have to be a big ass drill right here. You know, doesn't have to be. It's just as long as you can hit that line, oil line, you'll be fine. Because this one right here is like one size, yeah, about a size smaller than the orifice right there. I don't know what the orifice is, what size that is, but it's like one drill size down that I did. Now you're thinking, oh, but it's gonna reduce or whatever, dude. You're already getting a massive amount of oil to here, to the valve train. So I wouldn't worry about it, how much oil you get. You're actually gonna get more, so you're gonna be better off. Okay, so oh, I might show you the valve train bearings, where they go right here. They have 70,000 miles, okay? They have about, I'm gonna say maybe 68,000 miles on these right here with the HVX, no, HOVX. You know what? Whatever that thing is called, experimental oil thing. And they have zero wear. And I have another set from the same block when it was 1904 cc. About the same mileage, about 70,000 miles, 60,000, somewhere in there, and they're worn out. They're literally worn out. And that was before I did the mod. So they wore out at 70,000 miles, or 65,000 miles. And the second, when I overheated it and killed it, the 2234, otherwise they'd still be alive, it has no wear whatsoever right here. So I'm a true believer of this mod right here. At least this one. If I recommend one, I would recommend this one, and the rest is all up to you. Yeah, choose your poisons. You know what I mean? A thinker, which I just went through. Okay. Oh God, let me see. Well, let me. Well, no. Let's see. Well, I can't really tell. Let me throw in this guy. See if we see the side of the head over here. Oh, there it is. There it is. You see it right there? I'm spinning it with my hands. Okay. Perfect. I'm not going any deeper. That's it. This mod is pretty much done. I'm just gonna tap the threads right here. Tap the threads and plug it. It's done. Again, I already blew it out, but also before I blew it out, I went ahead and sanded that area right there for the new hole. And actually, I actually did all of them, just in case I might have damaged and made a burr or something. Especially this one, because this one is where the little plug came through. That hole right there, that's where the plug came out. So I wanted to make sure there wasn't any burrs right here. It might ruin my lifters. So. Alright, let's go ahead and plug it up. Alright, so this is a 5/16, so it takes a drill. It's called an F drill, whatever the hell that is, but yeah. So I had to make it to the right side so I could use the tap. Okay, I'm going to see if the plug fits, and I'm not going to go any deeper than that. I got the little plug in there. I'm going to use some Teflon tape. Yeah, tightens up really nice. Perfect. It's really this simple. It's not that difficult. Just do it, man. Just do it. If you ruin your case, it's on you, though. Okay, I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to just drill it a little bit bigger, and so that the relief valve is able to relieve the oil pressure. And I've been thinking about that one hole that we talked about, you know, like on the relief valve on the other side of the case, where it's really, really tiny. I'm just going to make it the same size as the old case because that was working perfectly and never had any oil pressure issues. I never had any issues with it, so I'm just gonna copy my old case and vaya con Dios, you know what I mean? All right, so that's done. Consider it done. I'm gonna do the other side. Okay, this is the other half. Now we're gonna try to get that plug to come out of there, that little hole right there. That little hole right there. Okay, let me turn. Okay, so that's gonna be that plug. Yeah, that plug right there. We're gonna go ahead and use the punch again. Just punch it all the way through because I believe they're exactly the same size as the other one we took off on this side. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. All right, so here we go. Dead center right there. All right, she went through. Okay, where did she land? I don't know where she went. You know, so you never find it, right? And you build the engine, and then you run it, and then like, oh, let's say 20 minutes into your drive, clang! Your engine just goes kaput. Everything just goes metal to metal, and then you take it apart, and then you found it. Yeah, I gotta find that because I cannot live like that and move on. I gotta find it. Okay, let me find it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and drill it. I removed this because this is where the other little thing, the plug that went here, it went in here. It just dropped in there, and I was like, ah, shit. So I took the plug out so I could get it out. Anyways, I got it out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a if you're gonna run a stock pump, which is a 26 millimeter oil pump, or 28 millimeter. I'm not sure if it's a 26 or 28, which is stock. I keep forgetting about that stuff. But because it's irrelevant to me, because I always use 33 millimeter oil pumps, okay? Gear driven, the gears are 33 millimeters. If you're using a stock, don't do this, okay? Don't bother, don't even bother with this. If you're using a 33, you definitely want to do this because it's gonna overpressure everything, and you want oil to be able to dump out. The piston will regulate it perfectly if it has an ability to dump it out. All right, so basically, this is a 7. You can go 8, no more than 8, okay? 7 or 8. At the end of the video, I have a bunch of diagrams that I'm going to be posting. I'll leave them up for like 5 seconds so you guys can do screenshots. I've got like maybe a dozen of them for the HVX Oil Mods. So we'll touch base on that when we get there. So this is 8. I'm sorry, 7. Okay. There we go. It's going in. Okay. Okay, I know for a fact that all the shavings fell into the threads on this side. So I'm just going to blow air so that it blows everything out. So the air should, you know, make a right turn and blow all this shit out, hopefully. Let's find out. Okay. So let me show you what I did. Let me put a little punch so you can see what I did. I went through the drill. Okay, the first hole does nothing, okay? It's just there for the plug that goes right here. There's, you know. Okay, the second hole, you keep going. And this is the one that you're gonna make bigger. This is where all the oil is gonna dump out. When you have an overpressure problem, the piston will be opening, and because the orifice is a lot bigger, it's able to dump out the overpressure from the 33 millimeter pump. And that's the way it is. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and drill and tap this for the plug, this is the tap I'm gonna be using. And this is the drill I'm going to be using for that tap so that I can install the plug, the Z plug. All right. And then we're going to add some Loctite, not Loctite, I'm sorry, Teflon tape on these that go right here. These I didn't do. This is the way it came, brand new from the store. They didn't have Teflon, so you know these are gonna weep. You know they're gonna weep oil. So Teflon. So I went ahead and took them off. Took this one off, and I took the other one that's over here. Took it off. I'm gonna put Teflon. So things you want to do before you run the damn thing. All right. So let's go ahead and drill and tap. Anyways, you guys get the idea. I'm just finishing up the big plugs. I already did this one. I should have gone deeper on the when I was tapping it, but you know what? Nothing's gonna happen there. It's not a place where it's gonna be in the way or anything. Half the plug is in there. Okay, I'm going to remove the X's. I usually just pull the X's off. There you go. Anyways. Should not weep. So I'm going to do the same thing to this side, and I'm done. I'm not going to show you that because it's just repeat. Okay, this is pretty much for this video. I hope you liked it. Now stay tuned for the all the schematics for these mods. If you're interested, just take screenshots and choose your poison very carefully. Very carefully. Alright? Alright.